Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. It feels like it's been a while since I've done NoDQ&A video, but that's because it's been a hectic few days. Summerslam on Sunday in Los Angeles. I was at Raw on Monday in Anaheim, and I was thinking about going to the SmackDown taping in Bakersfield, but I'm just too overwhelmed. I need to get caught up with everything. I've been very busy with website related stuff, so today I'm going to get back to business here with NoDQ&A video. Got a lot of questions here, some regarding SummerSlam, some regarding Raw, so let's get right down to it. And by the way, make sure you check out the SummerSlam review video that I did with Jeff Meacham. It is up on the channel, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. There I give all my detailed thoughts on the pay-per-view and what it was like being there in person. So right now, let's get to the questions. First one today comes from REXO619. Hey Aaron, what was your second favorite match of the night for SummerSlam? And I'm a big fan of yours. Well, thank you for that. I think that my favorite match was CM Punk and Brock Lesnar. In my opinion, that was not just one of the best SummerSlam matches in recent memory, but perhaps of all time. I mean, thinking about it, it's right up there for me with some of the all-time greats like Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect, Bret Hart and the British Bulldog. I mean, that was just a tremendous match, and just one of the best brawls that WWE has put out in a long time, and both guys were at the top of their game, and they worked so well together. And, of course, the second favorite match would be John Cena and Daniel Bryan. I mean, that itself was a really good match between those two. And, you know, the thing about that match was I really liked the angle that they did at the end following the match. But the match itself was still very good, and those two matches really made that SummerSlam one of the better shows in the past 10 plus years. Alright, this one comes from James Ryan 37401. Hey Aaron, based on Triple H's heel turn, do you somehow see WWE involving Shawn Michaels into the storyline? I get asked about Shawn Michaels all the time if he's going to be involved. I don't think it's going to happen. Shawn Michaels clearly is happy to be out of the wrestling business on a regular basis. I mean, he showed up at SummerSlam, to do the Access stuff and then be part of the discussion panel. But as you could see, he had the full beard, and he doesn't look like he is ready to come back and be a regular performer. Maybe at some point he'll make an appearance to confront Triple H, but I really don't feel it's necessary. I don't think they need to do that, and it's just the same old thing with Shawn Michaels and Triple H. I mean, they could do it, but, I really don't think they need to. Alright, this one comes from Chap574. If Kane turns heel and joins the Wyatts, how would you feel about an Undertaker and Kane rivalry for WrestleMania 30? To quote Daniel Bryan, no. Why do people keep asking me about Undertaker and Kane? We've had more than enough Undertaker and Kane matches, especially at WrestleMania. Let it go. It's over. I don't know why people would want to see these two when, even when they were at their peak, like at WrestleMania 14, it was still just an okay match at best. So why do it again? I mean, enough already. No more Undertaker versus Kane at WrestleMania 30. No. Alright, this one comes from Bork Laser. Do you believe WWE made the right decision by having Brock win over CM Punk at SummerSlam? Please answer in video. Absolutely. As I mentioned in my predictions video, and by the way, I think I got all my predictions right, so maybe I'll be the new Reddit guy who correctly predicts the pay-per-views every month. We'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, I mentioned in my predictions video that I felt that CM Punk didn't need the win at SummerSlam, and you could have Paul Heyman interfere and cost CM Punk the match, and that's exactly what happened. And I think you needed to have Brock come out of that strong, especially if you're building him up for WrestleMania 30. And if you're paying the guy that much money and you're going to put him in a marquee position at WrestleMania, then you might as well put him over. I mean, yes, he's only a part-time guy and CM Punk's full-time, but when you look at the big picture, when you look at the big money, that's WrestleMania. So you want to have Brock Lesnar as strong as possible going into that pay-per-view. So I absolutely feel that WWE made the right decision here. All right, this one comes from Chap574. He already had one question. Here's a second one from him. What are your feelings on the Ryback bully character? I've been finding it quite amusing. To be honest with you, I'm not crazy about it. I think that the segments come off, to me at least, as filler, and it feels like they really don't know what else to do with the guy. And let's face it, they've pretty much ruined Ryback at this point. He was damaged when they did that finish at the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view, and that was just them booking themselves into a corner. But then after that, he keeps losing pay-per-view after pay-per-view. He turns heel. He becomes this whiny cryback, a crybaby, and now they're trying to make him a bully. I mean, it's just lame. I guess when he slaps the guys around, it's kind of funny. But the thing is, when I was at SummerSlam and at Raw, the crowd was so bored with the Ryback backstage segments. I mean, people were just on their cell phones. I mean, they weren't paying any attention to it. Really, the only thing they reacted to was when Ryback slapped one of the guys just because of the sound. But, they really didn't care. People don't care about Ryback. I mean, that's the bottom line here. All right, this one comes from Hawaii Dens. Aloha, Aaron. When will WWE end this world title Money in the Bank winner crap of making them lose all the time and making them look like jackasses? I always agree with you that Cody Rhodes is missing something to move to the next level, but Damien Sandow with character evolution could be a major star. Your thoughts? Well, WWE has a way of doing things when it comes to the Money in the Bank winners. I guess they feel that they have to have the Money in the Bank winner lose matches so he pays his dues before he gets the big title win or whatever. And I think it's a stupid way of booking things. I think that you should have the Money in the Bank winner continue to build up momentum before winning the title. So when he does win it, he's credible as a world champion. When you have the guy doing jobs every week on TV and then he just wins the title in a fluke, then, it just devalues the title. So, WWE does things a certain way and they're going to stick to it apparently for the near future. But as I mentioned time and time again, like with Dolph Ziggler, the fact that Damien keeps losing every week, I mean, that seems to be a pretty good indicator that he's going to win the title based on how WWE does things. All right, this one comes from Yes No 22. What were your thoughts on CM Punk calling out the fan during Raw? Personally, I think Punk knows his act is getting a little stale, and he has to take the cheap jabs at fans to get a reaction. I don't know what the deal is with that segment. I'm not sure if it was planned for CM Punk to rip into that fan. I kind of get the feeling being there live that obviously the fan wasn't offended by it. I mean, he was laughing. I think he was happy just to be getting the attention. But it's weird because, Paul Heyman came out and even referenced the fan. So, I mean, because of that, I seem to get the impression that perhaps it was all planned out and then the fan was told ahead of time that CM Punk would rip into him. Whatever the case is, the live crowd absolutely loved that whole segment with CM Punk. I mean, that got definitely the biggest reaction of the entire night when CM Punk just started insulting that fan. So, I mean, it was entertaining. So, I mean, I really don't care if it was planned out or if it was something CM Punk just did on the spot. I just thought it made for good TV. All right, last question comes from John316, and it's spelled out all funky. What do you think about the championship coronation on Raw? I think it didn't give us as much. Evolution ain't back. They're still on that, quote, Daniel Bryan isn't going to be the face of WWE, end quote, crap angle. Can you see where this is going? To be honest, I wasn't crazy about that segment. I thought Stephanie McMahon in the beginning of Raw did a tremendous job. I thought she was really good on the mic. I liked the whole B+ thing with Daniel Bryan. But that final segment when Triple H was out there, I mean, it really dragged on, in my opinion. I was there, second row, and, I wasn't all that impressed with it. It just sounded like the same thing we've heard before. And basically what this storyline is, right now it feels like a repeat of the Corporation with The Rock turning heel and joining Vince and Shane and Daniel Bryan is in the Mick Foley role, basically, where, you know, he's the guy who's not all that good looking, and, you know, he has the beard, and he's not, you know, all, you know, buff and jacked and, you know, the bodybuilder type. You know, Stephanie mentioned him being 5'8" and all that. For me personally, I would have liked to have seen Daniel Bryan, you know, portrayed more like Steve Austin and less like Mick Foley if they're going to try to make him the top guy. So I mean, that's one reason why I didn't really like that final segment on Raw. And you know, Orton's promo was okay, and you know, I felt that they should have just done more with Daniel Bryan and made him look stronger. You know, maybe have him actually knock down Vince or somebody. Just the fact that he came out, and yes, he did take out the guys in the Shield, so he wasn't completely buried, but still, I think I would have liked it better if Bryan did something really over the top to get the best of the McMahons and get you interested in watching the next week's show. I mean, with the way they did, it's just, okay, they all beat up Bryan, and maybe they're all right about him. Maybe he isn't, you know, an A-level superstar. So, I mean, that's how I felt about it. But, you know, a lot of people did like that segment. And, you know, overall, I thought Raw was a good show, not a great show. So, you know, we'll see where it goes. You know, the important thing is, you know, a lot of people also mention this, how Daniel Bryan comes out when it's all said and done. I mean, if Daniel Bryan just ends up losing to Randy Orton, then when Cena comes back, it's Cena and Orton again. Yeah, I mean, that will be a huge disappointment. But if Daniel Bryan gets a huge rub out of this and gets a big win in the end, then, you know, I don't think it'll be as bad. All right, that'll wrap things up for this edition of No DQ&A Video. Make sure you subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQ&AV. Check out my photos from both SummerSlam and Raw. They're on the NoDQ Facebook page, facebook.com/NoDQ&DOTCOM. Just click on photos and go to albums, and you'll see them there. You know, got a lot of great pictures from SummerSlam and especially Raw because I was so close to the ring. And check out, as I mentioned before, the SummerSlam review video. And I just want to say it was you know, great pleasure to meet all the people at SummerSlam and Raw, and the SummerSlam post-show dinner at Hooters was a huge success. We had a great turnout. Over 30 people showed up, and we really overwhelmed the staff. I mean, they were having a hard time dealing with everybody. But, I mean, it was so cool meeting up with everybody. Everybody was super nice, and just had a great time. So check out all the photos from SummerSlam. Check out the videos, and I will see you guys next time for more No DQ&A Video.